Hey kids, follow the bouncing plate. Oink, oink, zoo pals. Buzz, buzz, zoo pals. Quack, quack, zoo pals. Zoo pals make eating fun. You clean your plate.
Wake up, Pookie, it's time for gym. Oh, you're kidding me. Dude, you gotta stop this. What did you do? I think I just yanked your head out of your ass. I just wanted to feel young again. What happened? I'm assuming you just found out how much of your childhood was just people trying to sell you something. Not feeling so good? I hate the world so much. Well, that's great, because it's gym time. I can't process this. I just want to be happy. Yeah, well, you're not going to be happy ignoring the real world. Let's go. Maybe you just need to go without me today. I think I just need to calm down. Dude, it's an old commercial, not a beheading. We need to go. Alright, I'll try. You know what's really funny? Gen Z nostalgia. Like, the whole thing sounds like a big contradiction. Like you're dating a crack addict and she tells you she wants to take it slow. Yet the shit gets millions of views here on YouTube. And instead of just allowing people to be happy with the things that they like, I'm gonna spend the next, 6 to 10 minutes explaining why this is a bad thing. That's right, I woke up extra early today just to be a hater. And as long as I'm able to keep you guys interested in this nightmare nostalgia trap, I'm gonna end up making it your problem too. Alright kids, put on your no fun allowed hats and let's talk about Gen Z nostalgia. So if you're my age, and judging off of viewer demographics you are, then at some point you've bumped into some form of Gen Z nostalgia video. Whether it be some sort of ad compilation that slowly makes you realize some of your core childhood memories are made up by soulless multi-billion-dollar corporations made to exploit childhood innocence, or some video made by someone looking to make the most #relatable piece of content they can for that sweet retention time. I don't know. There's a lot that's been said on the subject. How about we say something that you haven't heard before? In my opinion, and I'm right about 99% of things, Gen Z nostalgia is nothing more than another desperate cope to hold on to our fleeting childhoods instead of just embracing the fact that change is good and that just moving on from whatever trauma is forcing us to keep going back to Gen Z nostalgia. So to really dig into this, we have to start with a simple question. What actually is nostalgia? A very scientific and thoroughly thought out 10-second Google search, copy and paste gives us the description of a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. Now, there is nothing wrong with the basic feeling of nostalgia. What's wrong is the fact that it's often something weaponized by corporations and then promptly sold back to us. Or, in the case I was talking about earlier, used as an endless vat of copium. We're going to talk about them both. Something that's happened more and more recently in every media industry is the whole remake and remaster thing. Classic games getting remade, old TV shows getting new spin-offs, something like that. These things aren't made with the intention of bringing classic content to a new generation. It's made to force you back onto suckling that corporate teat without nearly as much of the work required to make something new. And any idea that rich corporations are remaking their old stuff for the actual love of their older content is coping harder than the people coping with nostalgia. The stuff's easy to make, reels their old audience back in for more, and has a chance at bringing in people who weren't originally interested in the first product. And normally, that stuff just backfires really hard. Just a few weeks ago, the iCarly reboot that everyone was so hyped about back in 2021, then exactly 2 people ended up watching past season 1 because it sucked so badly, was cancelled on a big cliffhanger. You guys know they made that show for 3 seasons? Yeah, me neither. If companies were rebooting stuff for the love of their art, we wouldn't see this stuff happen with such an abrupt cancellation on a big cliffhanger. Almost like the whole thing was made as a cheap and easy cash grab to do nothing more than make a quick buck. There's dozens of examples like this, but none of them are as cool as diving into dealing with all the shit that goes on here online. So, Gen Z nostalgia, the internet, and the never-ending cope that is life. Where does all of this come together? Well, what exactly do you think happens when you give a bunch of depressed, lonely, socially inept addicts a time machine back to a chunk of their lives where it wasn't so ass? Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. There's a lot of different ways one can go about interacting with their nostalgia. Some good and some bad, There's a smidge of a difference between something like listening to music from your childhood and going as far as to waste hours of your life watching nostalgia compilations, or God forbid, someone talking about their own nostalgia about the late 2000s to early 2010s. The more I thought about all this, the more it seems like it might be a bit of a hard tightrope to walk. It's not bad to go back and watch an old show, but if you're on your 10th rewatch, you've probably gone a bit too far. Nothing wrong with listening to older music, but if you start to think that everything else sucks, boom, you've gone too far again. But you shouldn't just let the past stuff stuff go either. That stuff's part of your history, it's part of your upbringing, and what made you, you. You just can't forget it's only one part of you and live your whole life ignoring everything else around you. It all goes back to that fickle little balance thing that almost no one is good at. It takes practice to, like, balance it, but like maybe just steer clear of the whole like Gen Z commercial compilations entirely. Seriously, I watched one of those and just the sheer amounts of existential dread realizing so many of my childhood memories are just traps to buy products that don't even exist anymore. Not something I would recommend you guys going out and discovering yourselves. But to quickly wrap up a very quick schizo post, take your nostalgia in small doses. If not, it's going to take you. And no one likes hanging out with someone stuck in the past. Also, whatever you do, please do not think about how much of your childhood is just product placement. Do not think about it. Anyways, that is it from me. Like I said, just a quick little schizo post today. You can officially take off your no fun allowed hats because no matter what you do, it's always going to be stuck to you. I own you now. So, you know, check out my other videos on this wacky generation we're a part of. And like this one too. That's an order. You don't have a choice. Alright guys, God bless you all and have a great day.